cork is it has an adhesive backing on it, which sticks very well, but I usually just on the ends put a little bit of contact cement for extra security, because I have had one or two come loose on me. So the first thing is to cut the cork to size. I usually cut it just a little oversized at this point, because sometimes with that adhesive backing, by the time you strip the paper off, it changes sizes on you sometimes. Take a little bit of the contact cement. I'll strip off maybe a ½ inch or so of the backing paper from both ends, and then I will put with a little stick, I'll put some on here, about a ½ inch or so, and then a little bit on each end, remembering that I will be cutting it, so I'll be sure to give myself enough. Now, being a contact cement, that has to dry a little bit before we stick it down, so we just have to wait for that. Okay, it's dry, tacky enough now to put on. I'll strip most of one end, and finding where I put the glue, I'll put that glued end on half of that, and then just run the cork right in the groove, stripping the backing paper off as I go. I hope you can see that. Just right along the groove. Then I have to cut off just a little bit. And now, it should be too big, and it is, but it's not bad, so we're just going to have to sand a little bit off and get that final fit. And I'll just put this back on the lathe and sand a little bit off and test the fit until I get it just right. It usually goes pretty quick because cork is very soft and it sands very fast. You want a good solid fit, but not so tight you can't pull it apart again. Perfect. The reason you want a good solid fit is that when someone goes to shake the salt out, that you don't want the top flying off on you. Okay, the next thing we need to do is to drill the holes in the top. Drill the holes. This is a little jig. It's from a plan that also came from the Beal Tool Company, that makers of the mandrel that I used over there. And it's just a guide so that I can get the holes in an evenly spaced. This one's set up to make 6 holes, plus the center hole. That's 7 holes in the top. We still have them marked from the where we put the tailstock up against it earlier, and that's where we're going to drill our center hole. So we'll line this up right with that mark, and then clamp it in place. I set the depth of the drill press so it can only go as far as through the wood and not into that little dowel that's this is mounted on. So then we just turn the drill press on and drill the hole. Now I want to move that over 5/16 of an inch from center and then drill the other 6 holes. Okay, then it's just a matter of drilling a hole. Then removing this pin, rotating it to the next hole, inserting the pin back in, drill the hole, one more. And there's a nice pattern of holes.